Hello, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. It is I, the eepiest fae in the world. You demand a Rav smooch, do you? Of course, I'm not allowed to intro. I'm not allowed to intro. I'm not allowed to say hi. I have to go get the Rav right away. Mr. Rav guy. You're under bed. Buddy. Here's my buddy. Okay, here we go. Smooches for a little man. For a little baby who then runs away immediately. Oh, he's going to hang out on a bag now. Hello, everyone. So, I'm real tired, y'all. And I'm gonna explain why, okay? So, yesterday, okay? Cozy mode didn't work? Cozy mode didn't work. Oh, has the thing happened again? Hold on. So, VTube Studio has a fun thing where it will every now and then lose its permissions with Twitch, and so you have to relog in again. So hold, please hold, please hold. I once again authorize VTube Studio to connect to Twitch. Here we go. There we go. So for whatever reason, every 2-ish months, VTube Studio disconnects from Twitch. And I don't really know why, but it does. That's okay. Everything, try dropping some emotes on my head. Drop something on me. Just go ahead and throw stuff at me real quick. Oh, will I have to restart VTube Studio for it to take effect? Okay, VTube Studio. Okay. I vanish. Okay, hold, stay calm, everything's fine. Hello, it's me, I'm back again. All of the pop-ups, Uh-huh. Where are all my emotes? Why no emote drop on me? YouTube Studio? I told you to log in and activate. Jesus Christ. VTube Studio is a great program. There we go. There we go. All right. Sorry about the technical issues. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Okay. Thanks, everyone. So on the subject of technical issues, that would be why I was awake for 7 years recently. That would be the reason why I did not get good sleep last night. Because last night, well, you see, I was doing something, okay? You know, I love doing things. I love doing things. I do. Let's see. If I want to talk to Gwendolyn, I have to use the Dark Moon Seance ring, right? That's the thing. I have no idea how to talk to Gwendolyn beyond that, but I think you have to put that ring on. I know you're not real, beautiful lady, and that makes me sad. Okay, so where do I have to go once I have the ring on? If it's not there, then where? The spinning platform that lets you reach Priscilla, you can lower to get to Gwendolyn. Okay. I'm gonna put my Havel ring back on for now until we get there then. But here's the thing that happened recently, okay? And those of you who are on the Patreon might already be aware of this. But yesterday, I ended up getting some lessons on how to make VR ASMR from the one and only Nico's Nifty Noises. Who's a wonderful creator. Hasn't posted super recently, has been taking a break, but is a delightful gender-fluid furry ASMR creator who I met through Lilac Lorenza, actually. Lilac introduced me. And Nico does VR ASMR, has like a custom avatar and all that. It's very cool. And yesterday, because I've wanted to try doing VR ASMR for a while, yesterday I got some lessons on how to do it from the Nico. And so I made a VR ASMR video. It's currently available to people on the Patreon. It is not currently available publicly, but it will be in about 3 days. But it released on the Patreon today. And it's VR Super Creek ASMR, actually. So is it this spinny platform? I use this spinny platform to get to Gwendolyn. Do I have to spin it? Or do I leave it in this position? Yeah, so a Faye Noble requested a Super Creek audio. And I thought that that would probably be like the best opportunity to make my first VR audio. Right? I felt that... Okay, this is just the painting zone. So not here. We'll deal with you. Keep going down the stairs. Aye, Captain. But I was like, Super Creek Audio is the perfect opportunity to try doing VR ASMR for the first time, so I'll reach out to Nico and we'll do it. Oh my god. I started working on the audio at about 5 p.m. Okay? I started working on this audio at about 5 p.m. yesterday. And, it sure took a lot longer than that to finish. Normally a recording session for me is like setting up and recording takes what, about
Halt! This is the tomb of the great Lord Gwyn. Tarnished it shall not be by the feet of men.
No, the tarnished
Thou art
are...
a true disciple of the dark sun. Cast aside thine ire. Hear the voice of mine self, Gwendolyn, and kneel
So the
before
tarnished are from Elden Ring, actually. Sorry. I'm gonna yap a bit before I kneel. So normally when I'm recording an audio, because all of my stuff previously has been audio only, right? The recording itself takes about an hour. The editing takes maybe 2. It's very quick and straightforward, right? Not to say that it doesn't involve effort, not to say that I don't put time into it, the time that it needs, but it's a much smaller commitment than what I had to do for this, because first off, when I'm recording VR ASMR, you can't do the ASMR triggers and the visuals at the same time. You have to record those separately. So now it's multiple recording sessions of the length of the video per video. So already the recording itself goes up in length. And then you add the fact that it's got way more technical points of failure, because you're recording in OBS, you're recording in Audition, you have VR chat open, and things can go wrong in VR. I had a moment during the recording where I accidentally, because I was using finger controls so that I could get really good articulated hand movement, which is great, but the way that finger controls work is by tapping various fingers to your thumb, it controls the game, and it controls your movement and your menus and all of that. And normally that's fine, that's not an issue, you don't typically do it on accident, but there was a point like halfway through the audio where I accidentally, at least according to the camera in my headset that was reading my hand motions, tapped my left middle finger and my thumb together. And VR controls in VR chat, if you're using finger controls, that's the thing that makes you move. And so, like halfway through the audio, Super Creek just stands up and runs away, and I had to redo that part and like reset my position and edit a bunch. She's like halfway through like pampering and petting you and all this great stuff, and then she just gets up and fucking books it. Or like the first time I tried to do it, I didn't lock the camera in place properly, so I like accidentally grabbed the camera. It's like, wow, Super Creek is petting you and it's wonderful, and then she grabs you by the throat and like lifts you off the ground. No, that's not what we're here for at all. So there's way more potential for error, both in terms of the audio recording, both in terms of software issues happening, in terms of like just fucking things up personally. And so it takes so much longer to do the recording, and then the editing also takes more time. Because again, with an audio recording, if I flub something and have to redo it, then I can just fully cut it out in like 2 clicks, and then we're fine. Can't do that with a video. Can't do that with it. People will notice a jarring cut in the visuals. And so what I ended up resolving to do was, like, if I fuck something up, I have the character in the video blink. And so it's a slow fade to black and then fade back in, right? And that's so much more effort. And again, I have the audio tracks and the video separate. And so I have to sync those all together with each other And then if something does go wrong like that and I have to edit it, I have to like select all of the different channels and hit split on all of them and then move all of them into place. And so there's just so many more points of failure. And so what would normally be an audio that takes me like maybe like 3 to 4 hours to make took me 9. And that's not awful, right? And it's something I'm willing to do going forwards if people really like the VR stuff, because it was fun overall. And it's something that, like, as I learn and get better at it, I will become more efficient. I will become faster at it. You know? Like, as I do it more, it will be easier. But this first one took ages. And by the time it was done, it was like, okay, great, cool. I'm gonna take a little break. I'm gonna play some Fate Domination with some friends. It'll be great. And then, you know, we're good. We're good. Job done. Video done. And so I play some Fate Dom until about 2 a.m. And then I realize, oh, right. I should probably do the emote thing. I should probably commission that art finally. And so I hop onto VGen, but for whatever reason, email verification wasn't working, and so I spend about an hour trying to get the emote commission through, and I simply can't. So I waste an hour doing that, and that's when I remember, oh shit, I haven't done the final export of the YouTube audio. I haven't done the final export of the one that'll be releasing on YouTube tomorrow. By tomorrow, I mean today, because at this point it was like 3 a.m. So, in conclusion, I went to bed at 5 a.m. last night.
O disciple of the dark sun, thou hast journeyed far.
In conclusion, I went to bed at 5 a.m.
Thou shalt swear by the covenant to become a shadow of Father Gwyn and Sister Guinevere, a blade that shall hunt the foes of our lords. Then I shall protect thee.
It's all good.
Safeguarding thy person
I
with the
did
power
sleep.
of the dark
I slept 6 hours. I slept from 5 a.m. to 11:30, in fact. I slept 6.5 hours. I'm sorry, Gwendolyn, but I do have a spider that I'm quite loyal to.
Very well. We shall not need speech. Exit here and follow thine own design.
Alright, so here's the question. That isn't enough? I'm gonna be honest, I get 6 hours most night. The average adult needs around 6 to 8 hours of sleep. 5 a.m. to 11:30 is 6.5 hours. So I'm cool. I'm good. I slept enough. I promise I'll get to sleep earlier tonight. I promise. Okay? I'll go to bed at like 4. I will. I don't have anything that needs to be done tonight. So here's the question for you all. Should I go fight my fellow trans girl? Should I throw down with her? Or shall we simply part in peace? It's a very important question. If we do part in peace, then I only have one thing left to do, which is go beat Gwyn. I could simply leave my fellow trans girl in peace and then go kill her dad. She upholds a brutal theological dictatorship. That is true. That is true. This is true. But on the other hand, we could support women's wrongs. Okay, I'm getting very mixed messages. I think we might do a poll here. Like, we're definitely gonna kill her dad. Which is the right thing to do, I think. But as for how things end here, women's wrongs are meaningless when they're fascist. That's true. That's true. All right, 1 minute poll. 1 minute poll. Make your choice. Make your choice. Hey, I am leaving the decision up to chat. I'm leaving it up to all of you. Let's see. It looks like we have a pretty strong favor towards T-girl fight. Okay. Okay. So it must be. So it must be. Would I kill Margaret Thatcher if she was trans? For legal reasons, I don't know if I can say whether I would kill any political figure. Really. Admittedly, Thatcher's already dead, and the world's probably better off for it. But... don't want to get on a list. Don't put me on a list.
What foolishness!
Hi.
Why trespasseth upon the great lord's tomb, whilst thou art a disciple of the dark sun?
Oh, I've still got...
Gwendolyn.
Okay, I gotta take cover for a sec,
Thou
Gwendolyn.
shalt not go unpunished.
Alright, girly pop. Give me a sec. Give me a sec. Gotta put on the good old Havel ring. Hello? Hello, miss? Oh, that goes through pillars. Okay, good to know. Good to know. Oh, she is not very strong. My friends, she's not very good at it. I feel kind of bad. Ow, ow, ow. Okay, I feel less bad. I feel less bad. Oh my god. Yes, come back. Are you asking if I would smash a fellow T-girl? Why, yes. Yes, I would. Absolutely, without a doubt.
Oh, heretic, swathed in dark.
I'm sorry, girly
An eternal
pop.
curse upon thee.
Real sorry. It was decreed. Bark Souls. Hi, Merm. Hi, Merm. How's it going? We do have an ad break in 3 minutes 40, my friends. Beware. Beware. Yeah, I'm very aware of what Dark Souls 3 ends up doing. Don't you just love the Vorblob? Oh. Don't you just adore Vorblob? It's my favorite boss. The Vorblob. You know, the blob that bores you. That is technically slowly voring Gwendolyn. So, to my understanding, I've played through Dark Souls 3. I've not actually beaten the DLC, but I have played through the base game, right? Gameplay-wise, Dark Souls 3 is really, really good. Gameplay-wise, it is the best Dark Souls game. Lore-wise, no, yeah, it contradicts a lot of previous lore and does a lot of weird things. My serpent! Hello, my serpent. Wake up!
No, I'm fine. I'm fine. Well and wide awake. Do not treat me like an old withering snake.
Hello, my serpent.
I am pleased to see you well. Is it something urgent?
Well, I have
Very well.
all of the Lord Vessel things. I have all of the boss souls and all that. So speaking of Vor, let's get out of here. Thanks, boss. So, I've talked about how, you know, there are many ways in which I would love to be a very small fairy. Personally, not super into the whole vor thing myself. Not really my thing. However, I'm just gonna say one concept from the perspective of a small fairy, and I want you to consider the following, okay? Consider being a small little pixie and having the entire lower half of your body sucked on like a lollipop by a very large woman. Anyways. See, I don't think it is either, but I feel like it's the gateway drug. I feel like it's the entry point. Oh, you see, Sylvan Rain, a dragon can be a woman. A very large woman is a concept that includes dragons. And I agree on that front, to be clear. Welcome to the weird white space. Me when I go to my old church. Back when I used to occasionally go to church. Because in my hometown you couldn't not go to church. Like literally had a dragon GF, and I am jealous. It should have been me. Have you ever looked at Lanciacs? Yes, please. Haven't been to church in nearly 15 years. Yeah, I'm something around that. God. That was 11, 15 years ago? Jesus. The only respawning Black Knights. Oh. My bad, my bad. There we go. Nah, we're not getting old yet. Listen here. Alright, listen here, my lovelies. We societally, I've talked about this before, I'll talk about it again. Societally, we keep pushing our concept of what old is younger and younger. We can't be calling a 30-year-old old. You kidding? They still got more than half their life ahead of them. Fuck are we doing? When is old for me? You gotta be at least 50 if you want to call yourself old in my eyes. You gotta be at least 50 to be old. I don't even know if I would call 30 middle-aged. I feel like maybe 35 you might hit that benchmark for middle-aged in my eyes. But I always pictured middle-aged as like 40. I was born in 2000. I was born in towards the very start of 2000. I basically age with the year. And I'm very passionate about the idea of, you know, age being deeply misconstrued in our society. I care a lot about this because when we start saying if you're 30 you're old, if you start looking at a 30-year-old and going like, oh, that's unk, that's old, what the hell, it lets you convince yourself and convince other people that your life is over way earlier than it really is, you know? When the truth is, it's never fucking older. It's never fucking over. It's never too late. And if you start saying someone's old, someone's washed when they're fucking 30 years old, it means that once you hit 30 years old, if you haven't accomplished what you were trying to, you feel like there's no hope. And that's nonsense, right? It's complete nonsense. There's always still time. It's not fucking over. Here we are. Win time. Ow. I've heard he can be parried. Oh Jesus. Oh Jesus. Oh Jesus. Whether he can be parried or not, I need a breather. I will not be provided one. Plin plin plon. Plin plin plon. Actually, let's pop some humanity real quick. Yeah, that's warm up. Oh wait, I straight up... This one automatically has max quantity. Amazing. Alright, let's rock. Let's rock, my lovelies. We just have one boss left to handle. Think my order? Will do, Captain. I fucking love oiter. Oh, well, what the heck. Exactly. See, you get it. Funny thing is, I am, in most of my friend groups, the youngest person. Most of my friends are in their 30s, or like late 20s. Ah, Jesus. Don't die to a Black Knight. Don't die to a Black Knight. Have I met Ceaseless Discharge? Of course I have. It's a good friend of mine. Bye. The 14 cap is kind of weird. I do kind of wonder why they chose. My boy? I can summon my boy? Hell yeah. Hell yeah, Solaire. Let's do this, my man. So, you might be wondering, if you've not been to one of these streams before, what we're gonna do if we beat Gwendolyn super early. And the answer is that this will become also the Dark Souls 1 Smasher Pass stream. For those unaware, I'm doing a Smasher Pass at the end of every single Souls game I beat, where I go through all of the bosses, and we make a tier list of smashability. In Demon Souls, we did it with every enemy, actually, but that's just not feasible for some of the games with with bigger rosters, you know? Y'all? Am I simply built correct? No, Soleil. Okay, not completely goated. Soleil, get his attention. Good man. There it is. There it is. Plin, plin, plon, huh? Plin, plin, plon. Oh, there you go to the bonfire of the fog wall? Okay. I mean... What do you think? Do we link the flame or do we let it die? Because we all know that letting it die is definitely the canon ending, right? That's definitely what happens. Ignore the other games. Ignore the other games in the series. No, I'm always of the opinion that the Age of Fire must die.
Bless thy safe return. Let Kath and Fraft serve your highness.
Thank you, Serpent.
We are here to serve your highness. Let the true dark be cast upon the world.
Easiest game of my life.
Returns.
Ignore the fact that I got Black Knight Halberd right away. I was very lucky to get that in my first playthrough. So there you have it. Dark Souls 1. Technically, we didn't kill every boss, but we did meet them all. We were niceys to Priscilla. As one should be. Dark Souls 2 is next, yes. We're gonna do Dark Souls 2, then we're gonna do Bloodborne, DS3, Sekiro, and then Elden Ring. You know, people say a lot about Dark Souls 2. I'll make my own judgment. Saving the best for last. Elden Ring is a banger of a game. So I have not, prior to doing this, I had not played Demon Souls. I had not played Dark Souls 1, and I have not played Dark Souls 2. What I have played is Bloodborne, Dark Souls 3, and Elden Ring. Okay? So I'm thinking I'm probably gonna play Bloodborne normally and Dark Souls 3 normally, because it's been a while since I've played either of them properly. Elden Ring is probably going to be... It's going to be an all bosses region lock. And I'm thinking of maybe doing a gimmick of some kind, where I'm locked to a certain damage type that is suboptimal. We make it a little challenge run, you know? Nothing too super crazy, but like... What if we did sorcery only Elden Ring? I like the sorceries in that game. Trying to do the game without any melee weapons is, how would Rav dictate my build? How would he make decisions? Okay, you know what? You know what? Maybe there's some way I can... Maybe there's some way I can have him make that choice. We were very close to the end when we ended last stream. Maybe I could, like, write a few different restrictions down on paper and then toss them all in front of him and see which one he chooses to investigate first. We can maybe have, like, sorcery only, incantations only, oh, maybe we could include bow and crossbow only, but that sounds like hell, to be honest. I'm a little nervous about that one. I'm half tempted, and I would not do this for the DLC, because I've not actually beaten Elden Ring's DLC. But it would be kind of funny to have spirit summons only as an option on there. If we did that, we would not be doing properly all bosses, since spirit summons can't fight in Everjails and a few specific fights. But we would be doing every boss that a spirit summon can fight. Summons only is funny? Yeah. It'd be something. I'd have to invest in, like, healing miracles and shit, wouldn't I? A different restriction for each boss could be fun. We could, like, roll for it or something.
Yes, indeed.
A fellow Revenant
dark sign
main.
brands
A fellow
the
Revenant
undead.
main. I love Revenant so much. I love dolls so much.
And in this land,
Just get Finlay and use nobody else for the sake of
the
lesbianism?
undead are corralled
I
and
mean,
led to
sure.
the
But Mimic Tier allows for self-kissing, which is also good lesbianism. And I would also like you to
where they are
consider Black
locked
Knife
away
Tish.
to await the end of the world.
There's much potential for lesbianism. I will say, when I do
This
play
is
Elden
your
Ring,
fate.
we will be getting the Ronnie ending, because even if there are certain things I disagree with Ronnie about, just the fact that Elden Ring is the one game that lets you get gay married in the series, it means too much for me to pass up. Oh wow, I guess the game's not over, huh, everyone? I guess it's not over, huh? We've never seen this cutscene before, and we've never been in this area, so we should probably let's get to it. I guess. Let's go ahead and start our first playthrough of Dark Souls 1. I really thought the game was gonna be ending, but I guess we have more to play, huh? I guess we have more to do. All right, let's get to it, I guess. I really thought this was gonna be over. You know, I really thought the whole game was over, but I guess. Whoa, what's this? What's this boss? I've never seen this boss before. I've never seen this boss. I've never seen this one. Whoa, crazy. I kind of love that it automatically just immediately shoves you into New Game Plus. Dear God, the true boss. With a crazy delay that actually makes him harder to parry than most of the others. There we go. Well, anyways. I suppose it's time, my lovelies. I suppose it's time. The Smasher Pass has come. Are we ready? We ready to get to work? We're gonna have ourselves a conversation. We're gonna have ourselves a conversation, alright? We're opening up Tier Maker. Let's see. I just need, okay, I'll make it myself. I'll make it myself. Make my own template. Create a single use. There we go. So. Let's add a new source. Browser. Yes. Oh no, that's not what we need. It's not what we need at all. I guess I'll just set a display capture. Sure. We're gonna select primary monitor. Here we go. Okay, my lovelies. Mommy, sorry. Plain and simple. This is our highest tier of Smash. At the bottom tier, we are going to put ethics. These are the bosses that you simply morally cannot select Smash for. Bosses like the fucking Chimera thing, because it's just a cat. That's where they'll go. And like Sif, yeah, exactly. You get it. For C tier, so this is gonna be hard pass. Hard pass. Only man in a trans lesbian smasher pass feel out of place. Literally don't even worry about it. Again, I am a lesbian in reality. I will never have sex with a man. But when it comes to fictional men, I can smash. I'm the weird kind of bisexual who is functionally lesbian because of trauma. Fictional men hit different. It's true. It's true. So, the tiers in between are going to be probably pass and they could hit. Okay? So here are the tiers. Here's what we're looking at. All right, do we all understand? Does this make sense to everyone? This is our situation. Now, I'm gonna just pull up the wiki. We're gonna get all the bosses. We're gonna go through them, okay? Hello, Fextra. Hello, Fextra. So, we want the bosses. We want to find the bosses. Okay? And let's get started. Let's get started. First and foremost, Asylum Demon. Let's take a look at what we're working with here. Okay? I guess this is how we're doing it since Vextra's like that. Did you know they applied jiggle physics to Asylum Demon? Did you know this? Did you know this fact? It's a true fact. What do you think? What are we thinking? Because I know what I'm thinking. I know what I'm thinking. I'm gonna be so useful because I'm completely impartial. Technically speaking, I don't know if we know Asylum Demon's gender, right? I don't know if we have canonically confirmed pronouns for this beast. And I do think there are some creative things you could get up to, both in a matter of scale and when we look at some of it's always rough when we get to the Smasher Pass because you got to be real careful. But like, I think you could get up to some shit with Asylum Demon. I don't think I'm personally going like super feral over Asylum Demon, but yeah, they could hit. Absolutely. Asylum Demon, get in there. This cursor is Tokai Teo. The cursor is Tokai Teo. She's riding the mouse. On my laptop, my other computer, I have a Manhattan Cafe cursor. But on this computer, observe. It's her. It's she. She's hanging out. Custom cursors are fun. Should install an extension that says Hachimi every time you click. I would kind of love that, to be honest. Teo is one of my favorite characters in all of Uma. I love her so much. She's so good. She's so silly. Hachimi, Hachimi, Hachimi. Hachimi o nameru to ashi ga hayaku naru. Anyways. Bell gargoyles. If I think about Teo too long, I have to sing Hachimi. Those are the rules. I don't know if you were there for the 12-hour marathon stream. I did some karaoke in Japanese for that, and it was difficult. You want to know the real truth? It's, the reason I know any of the Japanese I know is less because of being a weeb, and more because of just having actual Japanese friends who've taught me. So, check your fucking assumptions, I guess. Admittedly, I met those friends through anime. But a lot of them tend to text each other in Japanese, and I got really sick of not being able to understand their texting and needing them to translate for me, and so I was like, hey, I need to learn how to speak Japanese, and I looked up a bunch of resources, and I'm far from fluent, and I'm honestly sort of out of practice, but I understand enough. I can convey simple ideas in speech, and I can read my hiragana and my katakana. My kanji is still rough, so sometimes they joke that I type and write like a fucking child. But it's okay. See, it's considered very childish to write exclusively in hiragana, and I did do that for a long while. Now I know enough katakana to like swap between the two, but I still only know a few kanji. And so I sometimes have to ask, like, can you explain this kanji to me, please? They're very patient with me, though, so it's cool. Anyways, look at this gargoyle. Now, here's the thing. Conceptually, okay? I like Bell Gargoyle. I'm always a little bit like, I have thoughts when it comes to duo bosses, right? Because sometimes it's like amazing, sometimes it's like less so. And it really depends on the vibe that the two have with each other. I think in my case, I don't know enough about these two's like personalities. I don't know how they interact with each other. And I think there are fun things you could do. But like to me, I think what I might do actually is I might go ahead and add one right here, okay? And I'm making a let's just hang out here. This is for bosses that I like, like the vibe of, but wouldn't necessarily choose to smash. And in that case, I think Bell Gargoyles, like I'd want to get to know them both more. as people before we take that next step, you know? Capra Demon. Let's talk about Capra Demon. Let's talk about Capra Demon. So you see a Capra Demon. Let's talk about the Capra Demon. Good with animals. That is very true, Dino Bird Girl. That is so fucking true. Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be a yes from me, boss. I think it's gonna be a yes from me. Can we get Capra Demon to take a bath? Are you not interested in Stink? I think we could get Stink. I think Stink sometimes is good, but that's maybe just me. Ceaseless Discharge might have to go into the ethics tier. Yeah. That's one of the bits of lore that I know, but yeah. I know, haha, funny name. But it's gotta be a no. Hi, welcome back, Para. We're in the Smasher Pass. We've beaten the game. We've beaten Dark Souls 1 now, officially. So we're doing the Smasher Pass stream. This very same stream. So we're putting Ceaseless Discharge right there. Okay. I get the feeling that a lot of the Dark Souls 1 bosses are going to be Smash, which is honestly great. A huge chunk of the fucking Demon Souls enemies, when we did that tier list, were just like, this is just a bug. This is just a lizard. Like, so many of them had to go into ethics, and I'm thankful that that is less the case here. Anyways, Centipede Demon. Feel like this is probably also an ethics. I don't know enough about Centipede Demon to really make any definitive statement on that, but I think probably if there was even like the tiniest amount of person involved, because I don't know if y'all are familiar with Ramina in Elden Ring's DLC, but oh my god. So anyways, so anyways, so anyways, anyways, so anyways, so anyways, so anyways, so anyways, so anyways, anyways, so anyways, so so anyways, so anyway, so so and I'm it's just I mean you understand where I'm coming from, right? Like, because we can just so I this is almost ethics in the sense that I morally disagree with your stances, but you're also, you know, a fellow trans girl, and so as a, and so any so anyways so anyways so I'm just thinking that I'm just thinking that you know, maybe we're on the same page here, my friends. I think it's pretty straightforward. We have Spider-Woman. Yes, please. We have Dragon Woman. Yes, please. We have Trans Woman with serpent legs. Yes, please. Yes, please. So, yeah. Yeah, I think we're good on that. Demon Fire Sage. So, what if Asylum Demon was, possibly due to the fact that Twitch isn't kind? Yeah, I'm constantly aware of this. So, Demon Fire Sage is Asylum Demon except on fire. Right? Asylum Demon, but on fire. And I know what my choice is. I know what my choice is. I'm interested in finding out what your choices would be in the same situation. It's an easy call in my eyes. It's an easy call in my eyes. And this, my dears, is where we differ. Except for Stars G. Except for Stars G, you get it. Matter of fact, I think the fire is an improvement. I think the fire only increases desire in this case. And this is where we come to me specifically being fucked up is, you know, I've talked about the thing that me and Miyazaki have in common before. And I think there are creative things one could get up to. I feel like this maybe comes to a question of what it really means to smash, you know? Because when you're queer enough, so many things can be smash. You see, so many things that don't involve the conventional things at all can be smash if you're queer enough. And I am queer enough. And I think Fire Sage and I could do some fun shit. Not gonna lie, I think I'd prefer to be on the other side of the fire. Duly noted. Duly noted. I'm perfectly capable of either side, but I definitely have a preference. I'm lost here. Okay, so some people like it to some people enjoy feeling pain. I am one of those people. I'm very much. That's not what I'm lost. What are you lost about? What are we lost about? Just trying to decide for yourself, or Four Kings is a pass? I'm kind of. So I think I would agree. I would agree. But here's the thing, okay? Here's the thing. I'm lost on the whole creative thing with fire. So there's something about an ambient threat that is immediately sensual in my eyes. So something that is just threatening is immediately a big nice thing for me. Second, I don't know if you're familiar with the concept of wax play. I absolutely cannot explain it in detail on Twitch or they'll kill me, but I feel like Fire Sage would be fucking awesome at that. um, I feel like there could be creative scarification with burns in like an art kind of way that could be sick as hell, frankly. Yeah, no, I think there are things one could do that would be really interesting. Um, so yeah, big fan of that. Um, Now, I normally I look at the Four Kings and I'm kind of indifferent. They're like shitty ring wraiths, except for the fact that when I fought them, there was in fact a fifth that appeared at the end. For some reason, a fifth appeared at the end. And if there are only 4 kings, then definitionally, the fifth one must be a queen. Which means I think this is a situation where there is a beautiful woman and her 4 boys. And I have so much respect for that beautiful woman and her 4 boys that I absolutely would. I absolutely would. If only for the queen. If only so the queen could watch her subjects act out her wishes before her. Now, I know this is just because it's a Godskin duo type deal where they have a shared health pool that for some reason isn't equal to just the full health of each of them, but I'm sorry to say, I gotta do it. I'm noticing something. I'm sort of noticing something. Don't worry about it. Uh, Gaping Dragon. Gaping Dragon. Now, do y'all remember when I fought Gaping Dragon? Do y'all remember the sloppy makeout sesh? Do you remember that? I remember that. I remember when I said I had to choose Smash on this, just as a matter of course, because of the sloppy makeout session. You see, you're thinking too small. You're thinking too small. There are other ways one could do these things. So, by my honor, Smash I must. And I'm not complaining about it, to be honest. I'm not complaining about, I'm morally obligated to smash the Gaping Dragon. Matter of fact, yeah, not quite mommy sorry, but pretty up there, boss. Pretty up there, boss. So next is a dog. And so we're gonna put that into ethics tier. Hello, hound. That's just going straight into ethics tier. Absolutely would pet, yes. Are we gonna end up with a tier list that is basically just all Smash except for the ones that I ethically could not? Is that the tier list we're making? I think that might be the tier list we're making. Except, now that I think about it, I think Gwyn's a pass. I think Gwyn's a pass. Like, he's basically just a guy. A very large guy, but basically just a guy. Yeah, you can shoot lightning, but like, so could Zeus. I wouldn't smash Zeus. And this is honestly more of a a thing with like, there are certain characters where it's like, okay, I strongly disagree with you ethically, but I'd be willing to smash because of extenuating circumstances, like Gwendolyn. Gwyn just doesn't have that. This is a bad man. He's done bad things. And there's nothing about him that is smashable enough for me to overlook that for the sake of the smash. You kind of get what I'm saying? This is the same reason I did the thing with the fucking King Alant in Demon Souls. As a bad old man. I'm good. Iron Golem. So, Iron Golem. Once again, I have my decision. I have my decision. I want to hear your decisions. Ethics for you? How is it ethics? It's an object. It's an object. It's a golem. It'd be like saying a dildo is ethics. Like, yeah, it's a robot essentially. And with that in mind, yeah, it's a construct. It's a construct. Yes, please. Yes, please. I'm glad we understand each other. Right? This is simply a tool one could use. Okay? And I believe one could get quite creative with it. I believe one could get quite creative. Ethics. That's very fair, Denflexy. That's super, super fair. Just like how, you know, not every toy is for everyone. I think it would be more fun if it was being used in a more interesting way, if it was designed more interestingly, but like you could still use it. And I personally would. Neato. Hmm. 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 Yeah. Yeah. It is a guy, right? I think I'm gonna put him in probably pass. I'm okay with necromancers in general. I think there are ways that one can do it poorly. Yeah. I just the reason I hesitated is because anytime I see an amalgam, I think, wow, so many hands to be doing so many things at once. And that's an immediate plus for me, but eh, eh. It's okay, Nito. Stars G? Sorry, Squishy Siren is the one who said that. We're gonna have to answer that question when we get to Bloodborne. Because I've never given it thought before, and now I'm kind of scared. That's very fair, Para. And again, in normal circumstances, my general vibe would be the same. In the instance of like a lich, or like a fully animated undead thing that is sentient and can make decisions, then I'm more open to the idea, but it still is complicated. And that's kind of what I was like questioning with Nito, is like, and I think the end reason of why I chose to pass is because I don't think all those bones are Nito's is the thing. And so with that in mind, it honestly might go into ethics, but I'm just gonna put it in probably pass and move on. I think that's where we're at. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, Dino Bird Girl. So I'm gonna just say pass and move on. That's also kind of the question I have with the One Reborn. It's like, could I ethically say smash to the One Reborn when there's a shit ton of people composing it, right? And I don't know how it's possible for all of them to consent. So, let's talk about Ornstein and Smell. We've talked about duos before. And I try to take them as a pair and what their vibe would be, right? And so here's what I'm thinking, right? If there was like a situation going on with these two plus me, and let's say Smo is almost there. Would then in that situation, would Ornstein cut in, finish him off, and then start coming at me again with doubled intensity like in the boss fight? I've had this thought circulating in my mind for quite a while, and I don't know. I don't know. But the thought is in my brain. And I don't know if that makes it a smash. But I wanted to just put the idea out there, right? Because in the boss fight, that's what happens. One finishes the other off, and then comes at you with double the strength and intensity. And I kind of like that conceptually, but I still don't know if it makes it worth the smash on these two personally. But it made me think about it a lot more than I really expected to. Definitely thought about it a lot more than I expected to. I'm gonna put him in probably pass. Pinwheel. What the fuck is Pinwheel? What? What is Pinwheel? Genuinely. I don't even know. I know nothing. That's weird. I don't like that. Okay, it's 3 people and one of them's a child. Okay, cool. Glad we know that now. Why'd they do that? Why'd they fuse? Pinwheel, why'd you do that? Pinwheel, why'd you do that? Seath. No, hang on a sec. Where are the DLC bosses? Oh, expansion bosses. Well, there you have it. We might do mini bosses as well. Maybe. We'll consider that. Seath. Seath is yet another scenario where I have strong disagreements with someone morally, ethically, you know. I mean, look at what we're working with here. And so I think Seath gets the Gwendolyn treatment. I think so. I think, yeah. We have a pretty clear consensus here, I would say. We understand each other. You tempt me. You tempt me, Seath. I think it's gotta go. I think it's gotta go here. I think it's gotta. The wings are very pretty. I would love to have wings like that myself. This game needs more women. We did kind of fly through the women because they were so aggressively mommy sorry. Seath the Scaleless. Going into Smash. Stray Demon. Is congratulations. Welcome back, Asylum Demon. It's the same boss again. So yeah. Yeah, it's the same Smash again, too. It's the same Smash. There's nothing else to say here. There's nothing else to say. It's the same demon. They put the same demon in there 3 times. Doris Demon. So one of the 2 primary love interests in the full-length novel that I wrote was a Minotaur. And in honor of her, I gotta do it, right? I kind of gotta do it. So I'm thinking Taurus Demon gets a smash. Taurus Demon gets a smash. The Minotaur Woman is also on the list of people who could own me. You're goddamn right. Scale of Sapphire was such a fun story to write, and it's so fucking goofy, right? Erica, the Minotaur, gets introduced very early on, as a very momentary miniature antagonist, right? She shows up, and because everyone's in pain and everyone's experiencing new instincts because so many people have just transformed into various monsters, and they have these new instincts, they're in pain, they're scared, and they kind of just act. And the fact that Aoife, the main character, is a dragon who at this point hasn't realized she's a dragon, but very much does cause this instinctive fear in pretty much everyone around her as this is a dangerous predator that could eat me. Erica, in her fear and panic and pain, attacks Aoife. And that was going to be that, right? It was just going to be a one-time thing where it's like, okay, Minotaur attack. That's a good way to kind of kick off the intensity and kind of get things going and all that, right? See you around, Para. But there was a point. There was a point very early on in the writing where I realized that, like, this was my first time writing a story like this. It was my first time trying to write something with proper length and depth and all of that. That's what she said. And I realized that I was not confident in my ability to write a solo protagonist alone. I was not confident in my ability to tell a compelling story when the protagonist doesn't have someone else to talk to and bounce off of. And so I thought for a second, I was like, what can I do? What can I do? What can I do? What can I do? Ah, the Minotaur. Now that, you know, it's been a little bit and no one's in pain anymore and everyone's figured it out, like, she can show up again and she can join Aoife on her journey, and that'll be great. And the plan from the start was just to have, like, a monogamous relationship between Aoife and Willow by the end of the series. But there was so much time in this series that I spent writing the dynamic between Aoife and Erica, and eventually between Erica and Willow, that it was like, hold on a second. Hold on a second. No, but they're cute together. No, but they're cute together. God damn it. God damn it. She wasn't even supposed to be a character. She wasn't even supposed to be a character, but she's talked her way into the romance. And it turned out fucking great, to be honest. And it was genuinely like, because I did not want to have to reckon with the potential of how do I write romance when one of the characters has a fucking cow head. I didn't want to have to figure that out. I was at a point in my life where I was like, I don't know how to work the mechanics of that. I don't know how to figure it out. I don't know how to make this relationship work. I don't know how to write this scene. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to make them romance each other. They're going to be friends. They're going to be friends in that. Oh, no. Oh, yeah. No, they're gay. Yeah, they're gay. Yeah, no, I can see it. Okay, I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. And then I was into it. Yeah. Yeah. And then I stopped overthinking it. And then it was like, yeah, no, this is great. Yeah, no, this is great. So, I'm going to put you about here. About there. Out there. And I made a great throuple. Well, thank you. I definitely have things that I would change if I went back and wrote that story now. But so it goes. This has to go into... I mean, it's like a bug puppeting a person, but I know that, like, Bed of Chaos was a person in the past. So I'm just gonna say pass and call it a day. Just gonna say pass and call it a day. Just gonna put her right there. Put her right there. Like, if it was just the large wooden tree woman, then it would be like, yeah, absolutely. But why is there a bug in there? Why is the whole thing a bug? And just a bug. I don't know about that from a personal standpoint. You know, I cast no judgment on anyone. I'm good. Let's see, how many mini-bosses are there? Okay. I feel like a lot of the mini-bosses probably aren't going to be as interesting. Yeah. I think we might skip on mini-bosses because a lot of them are pig, cat, rat, and that's just, you know, it's the same issue I had with Demon Souls. So, speaking of the same issue I had with Demon Souls, Sanctuary Guardian, you're going into ethics tier immediately. Just gonna grab this cat. Boop. Nice and simple. Would you smash Havel, cheesiest boy? Would you smash Havel? Okay, well, Butcher is a smash, just so we're clear. Like I'm just gonna speedrun. Hydra indeterminate on the ethics front, so pass. Black Phantom, anytime someone becomes a glowing spirit, immediate smash. Butcher, smash. Ethics. Golem, not a very interesting or very useful golem in a spicy sense, so I'm probably gonna pass there. Havel, what does Havel look like under the armor? I don't even know. I do like knights. I'm. You know what? I'm gonna pass just so that cheesiest boy can have Havel. You enjoy your Havel. All right, the golden golems have people inside them. The regular golems do not, to my knowledge, but the golden ones do. Ricard, it's just a guy, so it really kind of depends. Big Knights, the Black Knights. You put someone in armor and they're very attractive to me, I will admit. Titanite Demon? Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. Channeler? Fuck no, fuck you, I hate you, Channeler, fuck off. Bridge Wyvern? Think that's an ethics. Ethics. There we go. Speedrun of the mini-bosses. So, Sanctuary Guardian out of the way. That's an ethics. Artorias. Let's take a look at Artorias. You see this? Pre or post corruption. I mean, probably, fuck knows. Honestly, we could say either or. I'm aware that Artorias, after corruption, has kind of lost his mind. So I guess we'll say pre-corruption, just for the sake of saying that he can consent. And in that case, this is a 9-foot-tall knight. So I think it's pretty self-evident what I'm going to do here. Conceptually, 9-foot-tall knight can, yeah, I'm glad you get that, Dino Bird Girl. Calamite. Calamite. I'm gonna be honest. I have a personal grudge against Calamite. If it weren't for the tinnitus, maybe my answer would change. If it weren't for the fucking tinnitus attack, maybe my answer would change. But the fucking tinnitus attack exists. I don't like that, Calamite. That's not very kind of you. I'm putting you in hard pass for that matter. It's a shame. But, I'm good on the tinnitus. I'm good on the tinnitus. If someone finds a way to kink off of tinnitus, I would be very impressed, but I cannot. I cannot and I will not. Last. Manus. Father of the Abyss. Big hand, big stretchy hand. You could get creative with that. You could get creative with that. Wood, very fair, very fair. I think it's kind of iffy for me. Like, I'm super not sure where I stand on Manus specifically. I'm always a fan of a boss that can do creative things, you know? And I feel like Manus can. I don't think there's much more going for him. And frankly, if he asked me to call him daddy, I would, punch him. So, I think it's gonna be the lowest end of they could hit, which makes it really funny because it means he's right next to Artorias now. Hand on your thigh from across the room. Oh God. Oh God. Oh, there is a circumstance wherein daddy is not cringe, okay? There is one circumstance in which calling someone daddy is not cringe. And that is when a beautiful woman tells you to call her daddy. Squishy Siren, you fucking get it. You fucking get it. The moment it's a woman doing gender fucky lesbian asking you to call her daddy, oh my God. Ah. Oh my God. Oh my God. So yeah. I think this is our tier list. Let's go over it. Mommy sorry. Yeah, absolutely. A bunch of tall women with various monstrous traits. Thing is, I feel like if these three were your only smashes, you're probably not a real monster fucker. Maybe that's just my bias talking. But you gotta be down for more than just beautiful woman with a spider lower half or beautiful woman with a tail, you know? We can't call like a cat girl a monster in the context of monster loving. So yeah, I'm thinking these three are great. Seath really toes the line. Seath really toes the line here, right? I think Seath probably could go up to Mommy Sorry if it weren't for the fact that I hate his guts. Gaping Dragon, yeah, I mean, the sloppy makeout session was good. It was a good makeout session, what can I say? I would do it again. Demon City. I mean, pretty straightforward, right? Beautiful demons. They're large. They're strong. They're spooky. Yeah. Again, I like feeling vaguely threatened. Four kings. And also their queen. I would do it for her. I would do it for her. Iron Golem. Straight up. A construct. That's a toy. You can use it however you want. Artorias. 9-foot tall knight. Yes, please. Manus, fucking bendy hands. You could do a lot of creative stuff for that, you know? Bell gargoyles. I want to know him more as a person before I take that step, you know? Nito. Too much going on. Too much going on. I can't. I have complicated feelings going into this. I can't do it. Ornstein and Smo? We could figure again. This one's kind of dicey for me. Maybe they could hit. Really, I don't want to get to know them both personally. The issue is that from what I do know of their lore, at the very least, Smo is kind of fucked up and evil a little bit. We have Bed of Chaos, Tree Woman, wonderful. Bug inside of Tree Woman, odd. Calamite, fuck you and your Tinnitus Blast. Gwyn, fuck you and your eternal monarchy. Ethics. So, there we go. There we go. I think we figured it out, and we figured it out right about in time for the end of stream. So, thank you for your time. Thank you for participating in the final Dark Souls 1 stream. And yeah, we're gonna start Dark Souls 2 next. It's gonna be amazing. Yeah, I think we all learned a lot today, you know? I think we all learned a lot. Let me just get rid of this display capture. Let me just do a little bit of this. There we go. Now, let's figure out who we're raiding out to, shall we, my lovelies? Who are we going to say hello to today? Let's see. Let's see. Many questions. SB Vales is streaming a game called Shape of Dreams. Interesting. Why not? Why not? Looks like it's a top-down roguelike of some kind. So, it should be fun. Let's go say hi. Let's go say hi. Let's go visit the kibbies. There are 2 kibbies there, actually. True fact. 2 kibbies streaming together. You ever seen 2 kibbies in one place? You're about to. So, raiding out in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.